Here's a moral conundrum for us. This is from our good friend Eric. Eric, welcome to the Ron and Fez show. I'm going to play something.
Oh, no. It's a moral conundrum.
What do you, to let us know? You got a moral conundrum?
Yes, sir. Hey, buddies. I'm a local truck driver, and I'm on a dedicated route, and I pick up at this place every single night. Been doing it for years. Kind of friends with everybody who works there. Now, there's this white guy and black guy that works there. We'll just say it's Fez and Earl.
Okay.
And I saw Earl come around the corner, all real nice to him. Hey, how you doing, buddy? All great. They're talking about what they're going to do for the weekend, this, and that, and the other. And as soon as Earl leaves, I see Fez turn to another guy. He's like, that effing N-word. I can't believe, blah, this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, holy cow. Now, I don't work there, so I'm not any, company things or anything like that. But I was just wondering, do I tell Earl that Fez is a racist, or do I, how do I do that? What do I do?
Okay, Earl couldn't hear Fez say the N-word?
He was gone. He was completely had left the room.
Then maybe you should just giggle and just go like this. Yeah, I know what you mean. And then one's trying to buy a house in my neighborhood. Let's bring Earl in for this and see how Earl would feel about it. Earl, let's suppose there was somebody here at work who called you the N-word behind your back.
Yeah.
Would you want to know about it, or you're like, who cares?
I want to know about it.
All right, it's Dave.
And it's just about every day.
I'm not done. And it's Hicks, Scruffy, Darren, New Lily, Fez, O&A, and Steve Blatter.
Fez, too.
Oh, wait. And Mel. But that was in a memo. You didn't say it to me. So you would want to know if somebody was a racist.
Yeah, I would know. I mean, at least I can.
All right. Here in 202,
straight on.
Is there anyone who, in your real heart, you believe is a racist?
I will say Anthony.
Do you think he's an actual racist, or he's doing it for
I will say
purposes?
he is a racist, and he's but he's very. I think he's just being honest about it, and there's a weird admiration I have for someone who could. You
admire the racist in the world.
Not
you know who you would love then? David Duke.
No, but at least they're being upfront about it. That's the thing I like. The stuff behind my back, I can't deal with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at least
like the way Opie does. Anthony tells you to their face, and then Opie giggles about it later. So you honestly believe he's not just joking; he's an actual racist.
I think he's had problems particularly with the blacks in the past.
See, the only racist that I'd say here, and I'm being totally honest with you, is you and Patrice.
What? How am I racist?
I just made that up. I'm just having fun. Can I ever have fun with you?
Well, what would you do if you found out someone was calling you the N-word behind your back? What would you do with the knowledge if you wanted to know?
Snub them.
Yeah, I mean, now I can know, okay, I know who to deal with.
They're not getting any of your crackers, none of your ginger ale. Get away from that. Now who's the N-word? You just stick all the crackers in your mouth.
He already hides those.
Well, stop. I gave it up, Dave.
Who do you think is like a closet racist here? Because I'm going to say Buddy. I just have to feel, and I haven't seen him do one thing, but I have to feel when he gets back in his house, he does.
He just has those crazy mood swings.
Who do you think that would be like a closet racist?
I would think Hicks.
That's fucked up.
You're the one who tells us that you'll use the N-word in your car.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see that as racist?
That's very racist. But I told you guys about that.
I doubt very much that Hicks is.
Maybe against Indians who can't speak English in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's racist.
Okay, then a little bit.
It's not just not against blacks. It's against any other race.
But it annoys you when I say Marlboro Reds and they give me a pack of fucking Marlboro Lights. It's bullshit every fucking day.
Yeah, they don't understand English. Why don't you use point? Like you're fucking dealing with a caveman. Here's Stanky. Stanky, I hope you're coming back to the O&A show.
Hey, Ronnie, I think racism is fucking naturally learned. It's an instinct, from way back in the day, to mistrust the ones that don't live in your fucking cave. And
well, yeah, but see, I think that that's taught. I don't think that that's instinct. I think you're taught. This is your tribe, and you pick up on that. I fight
against it all the time myself. I'm sorry, I should shut up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that it's taught to you as a young person, a young kid, or you pick up on it, us versus them.
I think it's something that, like me, I went to a predominantly Jewish elementary school, and I had, and I had white friends, and, and my black friends were like, why are you hanging around with him? I was like, oh, he's cool, you know what I mean? It's like, you should hang out with your own,
Yeah, you wouldn't know cool if it fucking bit you in the ball sack.
but you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I do know what you mean.
But some people, you like, whether they're black, blue, whatever. So
there's no blue people. If there's blue people, they're dead. Leave them alone.
Smurfs,
touch them, you can get a disease. Here is Melise. Melise, you're on Run Fez.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just by anyone using the N word that you think that makes them racist.
All right, I'm gonna let you go because your phone is shit. I'll let Earl answer that. Earl, if anyone uses the N word, are they racist?
I believe yes. I mean, because
50 Cent is racist.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's using a word that just describes wretchedness, just putting down someone, even if it's saying, hey, he's my...
Earl, why don't you try to reclaim the word?
I don't want to even reclaim the word.
You know who's the best at this, I think, out of any minority is gay people. They don't let any word hurt their feelings. And if you're like, because you're not allowed to say some words, right? But then you'll hear like gay people just embrace it themselves. And they never get fucking blown off by anything. Blacks should try to be more like gay people.
Well, blacks, I mean, that word was just such a, it was so vicious, and it was so...
How can a word be vicious? It's just a word.
I know that, but it was just...
I think probably the most vicious word ever, and no one ever pays attention to it, is motherfucker. You're talking about someone putting their penis in their own mother. And now people are like, what's up, motherfucker? Oh, you know who my motherfucker is? And you're like, are you paying any attention at all what that word means? And a guy will even say to you, I'm a bad motherfucker. And you're like, really? You have sex with your own mother? Who's on top? Do you see what I'm saying here, though, Earl? You're afraid of a word. Don't be afraid of a word.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm just like,
You're petrified.
I'm not petrified. I was like, why can't we? I mean, like, particularly when blacks use it to describe other blacks. I'm like, can't we just put the word away? Just
when blacks say that word to describe other blacks, I think to myself, okay, now we have a place of agreement. We have a place where we can start.
Break bread.
I'm not going to do that.
What about like Quentin Tarantino? Do you think he's racist?
No, absolutely not.
Quentin, I think there's some racism there. Yeah. Because he just uses it. He uses it more than black people would use it with each other. He overuses the word.
I don't think he does. I think he does it just the right amount. I think he considers himself black. Yeah, his mother dated blacks. They were like, surrogate dads to him.
I understand it, but he's not black.
Well, to me, he is. After what his mother did. Scott, you're on Run Fez.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Earl, you think John Lennon was racist?
Well, he was using it in a completely other different context.
Patti Smith?
Patti Smith, she actually, in that song, she describes what that word means. I used to be really upset at that song, and then, I listened to the lyrics, I read the lyrics, and then you hear what it means.
Yeah, Jackson Pollock should be furious. Hey.
Peace out, buddies.
Thanks, man. Dan, you're on Run Fez.
Dude, this is simple, man. It's a matter of stereotypes, not racism. You don't hate somebody because of the color of their skin.
Some people do.
Yeah, but not now, dude. It's all stereotypes. You're afraid of a black guy in an alley because he's black guy in an alley, not because he's fucking black. Who's going to rob you, a white guy or a black guy?
No. That is one small part of the fear. I mean, when you're trying to keep, as we used to say, hold the neighborhood, the people that come into your neighborhood can afford to be in that neighborhood. They're not going to come in there swinging socks full of fucking nickels. So you just are at that point against the color of the skin. You're not sitting there playing the odds off of, let me tell you something. Earl doesn't want to see two black guys in an alley at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody does. You don't want to see two fucking Italian guys walking up to you. Two Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, but if you have a situation where, I knew a really good friend of mine, he worked top level of New York City government. Very well dressed. there were days he could not get a cab at all. I mean, guys would just...
That was David Dinkins.
Well, I mean, here's the funny thing about that. They're not white cab drivers. These are fucking, normally Arab-type cab drivers. Middle Eastern people, Arab people, some Indians, Pakistanis. Why are they feeling like, a black guy?
I mean, I think there's that I think that's both racism and stereotype. Like, either...
No. You guys jump out of fucking cars when you get there and you don't fucking pay.
He's wearing $600 suits.
Ryan Run.
I think he's got a 20 in his pocket.
Oh, he's pimp.
No, he is not a
He
pimp.
could have stolen that suit. Stolen off a truck or something like that.
Saved up all the jump cab fares.
Did your parents use the N-word, Dave?
My mom occasionally.
When you were growing up, you heard it?
Just once or twice.
Fezzy?
My mom and dad, I never heard them use it. Every other relative did.
Hicks?
My dad did and my grandmother did, but my dad really didn't like Jews. He used the K word a lot.
Oh, yeah. Like I was going to say. Please, let's not go to the obvious. We're not about to get a Jewish president. We might be getting a black president.
We will be getting a black. I just feel it. And please win by 13 points so I can win this bet.
Dave, you're on the fence.
Hey, Ron, I got a question for Earl.
Go ahead.
Who would be more uncomfortable? A black guy with his car broken down in a low-income white neighborhood, or a white guy with his car broken down in a low-income black neighborhood?
I would say the black guy, primarily because more often than not, there's this sense of, okay, what is he doing here? He has to be up to no good. There's a perception, there's a built-in perception that he's up to no good.
So what are you saying, Dave?
I don't agree with that. I think the white guy in a black neighborhood would be more out of place. I think a black guy in a white neighborhood is more acceptable, that more white people are okay with black people.
But to be just perfectly honest, I know white neighborhoods where a white guy better not fucking break down. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. I'll fucking take you to places where I'm going, all right, we're going to be here in the daytime. But these motherfuckers at night are insane. So, anything can happen anywhere. It's more likely, though, there is more crime in black neighborhoods, and normally that has to do with poverty. Can we agree to that?
Yes, we can agree on that.
You know that if you break down in like a nice black neighborhood, you're pretty fucking safe. You break down in a middle class neighborhood, you're safe. Like if you fucking broke down in a fucking, a middle class white neighborhood.
It's all
a black guy who's making good money doesn't want to fuck that up by grabbing someone's chain. It's common sense. But when you're fucking, when you got nothing, you're willing to risk. It goes without saying. Now, what would be scarier? A white guy breaking down in a black neighborhood, or a white guy breaking down in a gay neighborhood?
I would say breaking down in the black neighborhood.
Wait, here's the thing. You might get your ass beat, but you won't get your ass fucked. That's the fucking thing now.
There's diseases.
Okay, that's not going to happen.
There you go. You're back into it now.
That won't...
Patrick, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
Earl, you like Elvis Costello? He used the N-word in the song Oliver's Army. And I really think that you just don't like the way it sounds.
And actually, he took a lot of heat for the N-word. Elvis Costello never got past calling Ray Charles a lazy N. Yeah. And that happened back in like 77, 78.
Yeah. And
he got drunk and said it at a bar. It made Rolling Stone. And that man's fucking career. That man should have a career like Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney will say to people, Elvis Costello is the best songwriter in the world. He wrote songs with Elvis Costello. But people in the street won't know Elvis Costello's name.
Wow, I had no idea about that.
There's plenty of things you don't know about, Dave, because you're talking. You're talking all the time, you never listen.
Yeah, the biggest irony of that was the tour he was on was Rock Against Racism. So that's when it made it even worse. So,
but was he right? Was he lazy?
No.
Well, he always had somebody helping him wherever you went.
But he was blind.
He never took his...
Wait, this is news to me. Elvis Costello is blind?
No, Ray Charles is blind.
Okay. All right, this is now making a lot of sense. Is Jamie Foxx blind?
No.
Well, he's acting like it sometimes. Dave, you're on Fez.
Yeah, I got to say I'm having a little respect for Earl lately because he's not saying it's okay for some to use the N-word, but others not. And he's really not using the double standard that I always accuse him of. So I have to say, Earl, today, anyways, we're on equal ground.
You know, let's say this. Earl is always first and foremost for censorship. He believes in censorship,
No.
and he wants everybody censored. It's the fairness doctrine is what you need, Earl.
Not into censoring. Sometimes some words just need to just stop saying them.
Destroyed.
That's how
It's
words.
not going to happen.
I know.
No word is going to be thrown out except for out of boredom. As long as you keep the exciting word, it's going to stay. As long as you say, oh, here's something that hurts me, it's going to be used to hurt you. Doesn't matter what the word is.
I know, but again, I'm more mad at black people who still throw that word out.
Oh, I
there.
had nothing to do with that. Here's Mark from Carolina. Hey, Mark.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
I'm a black guy here in South Carolina. Listen to you guys a lot. Educated, smart, but I grew up in the South where it is very, very racially divided. The thing is, Earl, you don't know what racism really is because you never really lived it. And the thing is, you know, why is it that 80% of the crime is done by 80% of a certain populace, and you can't admit that?
Wait, you're saying you're a black guy?
Yeah.
Well, you sound more like a white guy.
My mother's white. My father was black.
All right, you're black.
Mulatto, but I've got curly hair. I guess you could say I'm look a little Italian. But the thing is...
No, I won't. I'll say you're 100% black. Earl, what do you say to that? You come up into a city that's more racially mixed than any city in America. A matter of fact, I read this the other day about New York. New York public schools are represented by kids from 136 different countries. Languages are spoke. Anywhere we go in the city, we're going to hear different languages. You're going to see... a lot of times you'll run into black people. They're not even African Americans. They're from Britain or France or wherever. They're African themselves. So do you agree with him that you've never been in that deep South kind of racism that your parents grew up in?
I've experienced, I will admit, I haven't gotten it where it was just so blatantly open and just like in your face racism, but I've been victimized by racism. No, not at all.
Some of the stuff O&A said to you?
You know, and
hanging up pictures.
And I used
what about Black Girl from the Future? Did that used to make you cry?
Yeah, that got me a little angry. But, you know, I've been in situations where, I mean, it was much subtler. It wasn't like, hey, you know, put Rachel epitaph there.
Rachel.
Yes. He used to date her.
But I've been in situations where...
No one's ever yelled, hey, and what are you doing in this N?
Yeah.
You're ending the place
it's never been that bad.
Look at you big N.
All right, we understand.
It's just an initial. Don't let an initial hurt you now. Don't be afraid of letters.
And you know, I used to go down south for a couple of summers where...
This is Crooklyn. You're now just doing the movie Crooklyn. You're doing the movie Crooklyn back there.
I was directed by Spike Lee.
My aunt lived in...
He was the young girl in Crooklyn.
My aunt lived in Norfolk, Virginia. I had another aunt in Hampton, Virginia. And my grandmother lived in Powellsville, North Carolina. So I've gone down there. So.
Yeah.
Powellsville sounds friendly.
You love it, standing in the tobacco fields, just hanging out down there?
No, when we buried my grandfather, there was a...
the day before he died.
Did you try to throw yourself on the casket?
No,
and yell, no, pappy, take me with you?
That was my aunt. I swear to God, that was my aunt.
Yes, I know stereotypes are sometimes true.
But there was a cotton field next
Oh, jeez.
I swear to God, right next door.
Now, is it true when the cotton gets rotten, you can't pick very much cotton? The more cotton fields down home? If Obama is going to win this, I'm going to find a way of taunting Anthony every day just to get him upset. You hear what he did today? You believe this shit?
Yeah, another press conference. Fuck.
End conference is more like it. Now, what's he doing? Michael Vick? What if he did? This first thing he does is like Michael Vick got a press.
He had to part him twice. He just was found guilty in Virginia.
For what? Fucking dog had a
More
fight?
dogs.
Every time a dog fights a human's in trouble for it.
He had to plead guilty to his state charges.
Yeah.
Steaks. Fucking starving. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Ronnie. I want to find out from Earl, when he was a child, did he believe Santa Claus was white or black?
Well, we always had a black Santa Claus.
Did you really?
Everything was black. When we were growing up, you had black Barbie dolls, you had black...
But did it ever dawn on you that did you think there was two different Santas when you still believed? Like a black Santa for black kids? And
No, it was just, Santa Claus is black.
So you didn't even see, you never went to a mall and saw a white Santa Claus? And then you say to yourself, wait a minute, what the fuck happened here?
What about the Thanksgiving Day parade? At the end of it.
They didn't have a TV.
Well, they was always turn that off.
There was no black Santa at the Macy's Day Parade.
The only sport his dad would watch at home would be basketball.
Channel 9, Nick games.
What did you call it? The Knicks?
The Knicks.
We called it something different. Close, though.
Yeah, there was that one, I remember, I'll never forget the 78 team was an all-black Knick team, and I remember the nickname they gave that team.
And so was the 79, 80, 84. Things haven't changed. There has been a white player since Bill Bradley and DeBuscher left.
My dad is so happy now that he can watch basketball from Yugoslavia. He goes, oh, Jesus Christ, this dish is fantastic. Watching the European basketball.
Hey, let me go to Brother Joe real fast. Brother Joe.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey man. Hey man.
Hey, did you ever tell a story about when the old man caught that guy in the tack room?
Caught that guy.
That
Again.
guy. Yeah. Well, I looked both ways before I was going to say. Anyway, the dude that he caught at gunpoint.
Yeah. My father. No, I think I did it at one point. Not recently though, but yeah, my father heard some shenanigans going on outside where he lived in the place where he kept all of his tools for his welding business, and went outside with his what did he have, a python?
Yeah,
that was his schlong. I'm talking about well, I don't know what kind of gun he had, but yeah, he had a 38 python. Wow. And went out. 357 Magnum, actually. Yeah. And went out and confronted the guy, and did not shoot. The gentleman quickly he told him to get the fuck on the ground, and then might have used some derogatory term. Good old dad.
Hog-tied him until the cops got
there. Hog-tied him.
What do you mean, might have? You weren't sure it was Christmas?
Yeah, might have thrown him a bone. He hog-tied him, feet, ankles to hands, and waited for the cops to show up. I wonder how long it was before he even called the cops. He probably just sat there calling all his friends going, you got to come over here and see what I did to this.
Like Pulp Fiction.
I think you let the guy squirm for a little while. But yeah, that's pretty much when I decided that I was going to apply for a license and have a gun.
Yeah, Joe's got a license.
Oh, nice.
We're a family of gun lunatics.
My dad used to drive around with a gun in his car.
Yeah, so did mine, right? Yeah. That my father used to carry a little 32 that came from like Sicily or something.
That was when he was an investigator. He used to go serve subpoenas in some pretty rough areas.
Yeah, so he carried, and Earl called me a fucking racist yesterday.
Hold on.
I'm pleased that Earl finally got something right.
Anthony in Philly.
How we doing, guys?
What's up, man?
Hey.
Ant.
Yo.
You hear Black Girl calling you racist yesterday on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. What was the context of that? Did you hear it?
Somebody had asked him who he thought was racist, and apparently your name came up. He was the first one that he thought of.
I was number one on the list? All right.
Hey, he was really the only one that he named.
Wow. I'm the only guy Earl thinks is racist. Well, racist. Well, that's good. It's nice to see Stepin Fetchit is naming me as a racist. Uncle fucking Tom Earl. Please. That fucking Oreo. All right. Whatever, Earl. What, is he here?
He's hiding in the office. He's too busy on the phone to confront you.
Drag him in here.
Earl?
Drag that
in here.
Drag that
guy in here.
Drag that.
Oh. Me and Earl have known each other for many years. We're actually friends. I'm friends with Earl. Earl. You got a mic? Does it work and shit?
Why are you calling Anthony racist?
Earl, what happened? Tell me how this happened.
First, Ron and Fez into 3.
All right, very good. You plugged the show. Good.
What? I believe there are times, and you have been openly racist.
I am honest. I have opinions, but whether I'm racist or not is preposterous. And the fact that I take information and I process it in my head from various sources and then come out with an opinion does not make me racist.
And I said you've been you have been honest,
but you call me racist.
Well, here's the problem we have. You openly called Anthony racist. We all just kind of hint that he might be a racist. There's a difference, you asshole.
And I said,
first of all, get it right. I'm a Nazi. A racist, but that's kind of see, that word gets thrown around too much. I really don't consider myself a racist. I am just I'm very honest. With my opinions, which I think are garnered from various sources that I then explain, and instantly I'm called a racist.
Do you judge all black people by the same negative standard?
Yes.
Well, then.
No, of course I don't. You know what I do? I do something that Dr. Martin Luther King wanted everyone to do.
Oh my God!
I judge
you
people.
You have a dream?
I had a dream. I judge people by the content of their character. Now, why the fuck can't a black person with a shitty character be on my shit list? Why can't I talk about motherfuckers that I watch on surveillance tapes robbing a store? Why can't I call that guy a fucking savage asshole, scumbag motherfucker, like I would anyone else that would pummel someone and pistol whip them behind a counter? Why does that make me racist?
Well, there have been more than one. There's been one or more time where you kind of lump everyone as a.
I don't lump you into. You're obviously a black man.
Yes,
I would never lump you into a category of a guy that I would consider a thief or a thug or anything. I would not do that. The second I get to know people. Like, I don't know. There are plenty of white people I don't know that I fucking steer clear of on the sidewalk because I'm not going to get bashed over the head with a fucking cinder block by some crazy homeless guy, regardless of his color. But I know, like you, Patrice, did I mention you? These are people that I consider friends. And
Keith, what about Keith?
Keith, fuck him.
Oh, really?
Holy shit,
no. What happened?
We love him, but we don't want to hang out with him.
Keith is a guy who I love, who's on the show. He tells stories, but he's one of these doesn't shut his fucking mouth when the cops pull him over. It's always a racial thing. It's just whatever. It's like Keith.
He has to make a point all the time.
Look, here's how you find out if you're racist.
Motherfucker, pull me over.
Here's how you find out if you're racist. And this happened to me. The next time...
Jeez, you are fucking heinous. See, that's racist. That's fucking racist.
I just wanted Earl to feel,
what?
Extremely uncomfortable.
Horrid, uncomfortable, insulted.
What are we looking at, Ed? I don't even know.
I'm not even going to describe it. It doesn't even merit a description.
Well, E-Rock brought it out.
Yeah, E-Rock is an ass when I'm trying to make a point.
Well, here's how you find out if you're
racist. There are similarities, though.
The next time you lose something that you think has been stolen, when you retrace your steps, see how you cast that short mystery film in your head. How many blacks and Latinos do you get through before you finally hear yourself say, "Oh fuck, here it is under the car seat"?
I'll be honest with you.
I'm an asshole. I'm a little racist.
No, if something's ever missing from my truck, I assume it's one of the people that work in the garage, and they can be of various races. Black, so Hispanic. Did I say Hispanic?
Just general garage assholes.
Yeah, garage assholes. Okay. In my neighborhood, if something happened, I wouldn't think it was anyone of color because there's no one of color in my neighborhood.
But you wouldn't picture a vague a black man or a Hispanic guy came into the neighborhood.
Anytime I have this image of how I would respond to a home invasion, let's say. Yeah. And it's not this fucking Rambo fantasy thing. It's pretty much, all right, what are you going to do if you're laying in bed and you hear something that is a break-in in your house? You got to have some kind of contingency plan.
Who do you picture shooting?
I picture shooting the people that commit home invasions 90% of the time that I see and read on in the news and on television.
So you picture shooting a black guy?
Yes. I don't picture shooting a black guy. I picture a black guy or guys committing a home invasion. Because when, especially in Long Island, where I live, when a home invasion is done, it is primarily done. Why wouldn't I go with the percentages?
Right.
And think.
Okay.
If I'm walking down the street, and I see a pit bull or a collie, I might be more akin to trust that the collie will not bite my throat out. I might be wrong.
Right.
I'm saying that might be the most vicious collie ever.
Mm-hmm.
But usually when I see the news or read the paper, it's a pit bull that rips a child's head off or things like that. I play the percentages.
Right.
So if there is an instance of a crime being committed like that, there are certain crimes that white people commit. You don't see black guys going into their school and shooting the bullies.
Or bankrupting the country.
Or bankrupting the country. You're absolutely right. White collar crime is white fucking neck in the collar too. You're right. Except for, of course, Fannie Mae that was being run by the black guy. Yeah.
Briefly.
Well, long enough, my friend. Long enough to fuck that fucking thing up, huh?
So maybe if you saw that guy coming into your house, you could shoot him for a whole number of reasons.
Well, if I see a white guy come into my house and start going through my files and trying to invest me in something bad, I'll shoot him too. But it's usually a lot faster than that. It's, you know, I'm just saying I don't think that's a good barometer for saying someone's racist. Yeah, he was in my house.
Henry Paulson was in my house. The Treasury Secretary, I shot him. He stole $700 billion from me.
$700 billion. I don't think that's a good barometer, though, for if you're racist or not. And you can't blame the media for just portraying a certain group, regardless of which group it is, as committing certain crimes. That's why they profile in police work. And I don't just mean patrolmen. I mean, they profile. When you see a certain crime, it's profiled as to who probably, not definitely, but probably committed that crime.
Right.
When it's child abduction, a girl is abducted and raped and murdered, it's usually a middle-aged white guy that wears a hat, has a radio show.
I think what you said before is probably the best indicator, is that it's a case-by-case thing. If you get to know somebody, everybody's nervous. There's no reason to not be nervous. Everybody's sensitive. It's not ethnicity-based. But, you know, once you get to know somebody, that's the relationship. But in generalities, your fear primarily is getting robbed or shot by a black guy.
That is what I would expect if I did get robbed. I would more likely than not.
Just based on numbers.
Based on numbers.
Based on the fact you don't like black people.
No, right. It's not. You know what it is? Because that isn't even the case.
Right. No, see, did we solve this problem though?
Am I still racist?
No, well, I mean, let's go back to.
I like Earl.
I mean, and I like you.
I wish you were white, but
I really think
and I go through, and it's not just TV and the media. I look at crime statistics. It sounds fucking insane, but I do look at crime statistics put out by the FBI, by local police departments, and I see percentages.
Is this one of your fun hobbies?
It is a hobby. I get on the web, and I go to a lot of .org sites, and I look at statistics, and I don't care I don't want to hear what they're based on or biased or this or that. I'm playing the percentages. It's the same way I play poker.
He's a well-informed racist, Mark. Well-informed.
Thank you, Opie. I'm a well-informed racist. That's what I like being.
How's it going to be to have a black man with all of the guns?
That's an interesting thing. A black man with atom bombs and hydrogen bombs and stuff.
How's that fitting into the statistics?
I'm fine with the color of Obama. I have no problem that he's a black man. I don't like his policies as far as my taxes go, and my Second Amendment rights are the biggest issues I have as far as that. Whether he'll do a good job for the country, better than McCain would do, I don't know. I don't know at this point. These clowns get in here every 4 years. You don't know what the fuck they're going to do.
That's true.
I thought Clinton was going to be a complete bust. He wound up being pretty good as far as the economy went and everything. Like I said earlier, I wish he was better on foreign affairs and would have flexed a little more muscle. But I think he did a good job, and I thought he was going to be a real bozo. I thought Bush was going to be good, and he turned out to be one of the worst presidents ever in office.
Unbelievable.
I actually, when he was governor of Texas, I actually thought he might do a good job as president, but I was completely wrong. The guy's an ass.
Took a while.
Yeah, it did.
Took a while for you to come around.
It took a while.
It's been on that for a while.
When the big bamboozle came through.
Yeah.
When the reason for the war being the weapons of mass destruction all of a sudden turned to we need this to be a democracy, and it was like, wait, that isn't what we signed off on. That isn't what And
then they just shamelessly started to say we needed to be a money laundering operation,
or what? Then even that is getting too far into what. It's so simple. The fact that it's easy to keep things simple with people that just defend Bush constantly, without he can do no wrong by just saying, look. The initial thing was weapons of mass destruction. We never heard of we are here to make a democracy out of this until they weren't able to find any.
Yeah.
And then, and then you hear all the things, well, they moved it to Syria. They did, I do not want to hear that. We didn't fucking sign on to this.
You had nothing to do with this, right?
No, Earl had nothing to do with this. Earl had nothing to do with it. I'm talking more, international affairs instead of domestic. Earl, I believe, is racist because you want fucking reparations, motherfucker.
No, let me take. I was never against reparations. Well, never against.
Who would be if they come and toss you something?
Yeah, no
you
kidding.
were. I remember talking to you once saying you were for reparations. You believe that black people deserve reparations.
I believe that they should. I mean, basically hold up the deal that was originally made. That was
the deal that was originally made.
40 acres and a mule.
So you want a mule?
40 acres.
That was a deal.
40
Hold
acres.
up the
That's
deal.
all.
Just honor the deal that you made.
There wasn't a deal. Here you go. Here's your paper. You're a free man.
Scram.
The deal, if Lincoln would have lived, the deal was actually like Liberia, my friend. That was Lincoln's second half of the emancipation. You guys were going back.
The Indians got casinos.
Yeah,
that wasn't part of the deal.
That wasn't part of the deal either. Hey, see what we did?
Hey,
We gave
Jimmy's
anthrax
back.
blankets first, and then we fucking
That's
did
why
casinos.
I only like to gamble at Indian casinos because when you lose, you feel like you're helping.
Helping you. You're helping the Asian dealers is what you're helping for some reason.
Why don't we wrap up? Because,
I don't think... Earl, why don't we agree to disagree?
Yeah. And what are you doing for Ron and Fez today?
Oh, you have to listen from noon to 3?
Exactly.
It's always a surprise. I
It's a
love the
surprise
Ron
to
and
Earl,
Fez
too,
show.
when it unfolds.
Earl, and seriously, I do consider you a friend.
Yes.
I really do.
Oh,
and have you call me racist kind of hurt me a little bit.
And I'll apologize.
When did you call Anthony racist?
On yesterday's Ron and Fez program.
Why did you say that?
Where were you?
Because I'm a racist. Because of the way I come across. Some people like to believe that I am racist when I'm an honest person that voices my opinions, that I draw based on a lot of facts. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of...
He's statistically judgmental of
I am
black
very
people.
statistically judgmental. Okay, I'll even agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm statistically judgmental, but I always, when I personally meet people, I base my like or dislike of them on the content of their character, as the good doctor said. And a lot of times I do not like the content. I heard he liked white women.
I think something beautiful happened. Roy Abernathy would.
I think, didn't we?
Yeah,
we've made some.
good.
If this piece is ever broken,
let's get out of here.
If anything happens to Earl,
I think Earl wants you to give him at least 20 acres and a dog.
All right.
Are we doing line of the day?
Earl Douglas, come on in here. I understand you had to go toe-to-toe today for some of the things that you said on the Ron and Fez show. During this, again, it's 2008, you couldn't have a more tense time. We got a big election coming up, the economy. By the way, your money is worthless. Throw it out of your wallet. That's no good to you. Do what I do. I killed a large animal today. Earl, what happened with you and Ant today?
He and I had words. He was very upset that I said he was a racist.
You said he was a raging racist and 10 times worse than David Duke.
Yeah, I made, you know what, just based on actions and based on things that he said, I made the conclusion he was a racist.
So now you changed your mind?
He was explaining his cause. He was explaining what makes him think the way he does. He was using statistics. He was using all types of data.
Oh, so he beat you with facts.
Yeah, he was using all this information. It's like, blacks are more likely to get arrested and more likely to commit these crimes, and just based on what we see on TV and all this stuff. Yeah.
Would you now consider yourself anti-black? After that conversation today, did he turn you?
No, I'm not anti-black.
I think he turned you around on reparations.
I still ask for the 40 acres and a mule.
You wouldn't know what to do with a mule.
Or the 40 acres.
Well, I'd build on the
How about we give you 40 RCs? and my mule. How would you like that? I'm telling you, and I brought this up yesterday. This election could not be more exciting, and that's what's going on between you and Ant. He's a McCaniac, and he's wanting his side to win. You are an abomination. You want your side to win. This is healthy. It's good. And I'm glad to see people talking about race. I really am.
Yeah, wait a minute. How come I'm an abomination? He's a McCaniac. I mean, McCaniac.
Well, that's what the names are. I didn't make up the names. What do you want to be? Red team and blue team?
Like I like Obama Maniac or something like that.
You can't do Obama Maniac. Doesn't make sense.
But abomination sounds like, well, you know what it sounds like. Abomination.
Oh, okay. So your point is what, Earl? Are you going to win this thing?
Oh, we're going to win this thing.
Is it the tidal wave that the polls are saying?
I believe so. That the fact that Republicans are starting, Republicans are starting to make the switch over.
This made me like McCain yesterday. He said he's going to fix the giant fuck up that was the Bush administration. He said if we were civilized people, we would drag that man out of the White House today and tar and feather him. He actually said this in a speech, and this to me was the greatest speech I ever heard John McCain say. He said, he goes, I got half a mind to go up to George W. Bush, dig his eyeball out with my thumb, and skull fuck him. And McCain said, the only reason I don't do that is the lack of brains would make me crush my cock, my huge, thick POW cock, on the back of his empty skull. And that surprised me, but I like the way he's talking. I think he should have done this from the beginning.
He's now saying that Obama is running for 8 more years of Bush policies.
John, you're on Ron and Fez. Well, then I'm against Obama. I don't want 8 more years of this craziness. I'm a McCaniac. John, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I got to give Earl another compliment. I heard him. He stood his ground. He didn't backpedal. I disagree with him.
Right.
But he didn't make up excuses. Again, breaking the double standard. What's the big change, Earl?
Well, Earl is moving on up. That's the thing that's happening now.
Yeah, there's a great change going on with me. Great change going on in the nation. This is going to be so exciting when Obama gets elected.
I know you're going to be excited. Well. That's why we're going to be on that night. Here's why we're doing the election night broadcast right here on the Virus. The Ron and Fez show will be live. The reasoning, of course, is it's either going to be the greatest night of Earl and Franklin's life, and they're going to be running through the streets and lighting their asses on fire, or they will be so crushed and depressed that we will point at them and taunt. Either way, I feel like it's going to be historic radio.
Victory 08.
Just to hold off on the taunts. I mean,
I will be taunted. Just because it's the worst day of your life. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason?
Yeah.
It's nice to see Stephen Fetchit is naming me as a racist. Uncle fucking Tom Earl. Please. That fucking Oreo. All right. Whatever, Earl.
All right. I guess that's what started it today. And I know Anthony doesn't want to be seen as a racist. And then he called Earl and Uncle Tom and an Oreo. Earl, so that's what started the point counterpoint with you and Anthony.
Tom and an Oreo. That was like yeah, you're not racist at all. Like what basis was behind me being an Uncle Tom or an Oreo? Zero. But he called me a racist.
Oh, well, come on.
He's not a racist.
Oreo, I'll give. You're definitely not that. The Uncle Tom. You've fallen into that before.
Wait, how do I fall into Uncle Tom?
NEW. Walking around with the fucking pictures all day. Doing jokes about yourself.
Oh, that was just a big misunderstanding.
And then remember when you came in with that Shrek thing and you said it was yours?
No,
you said it was your action figure.
They left that on my desk. There's like 8 of them sitting on my desk.
Oh, I thought you brought those in for everybody. All right, Ron and Fez show hanging out here. Dave, tell me you got some production done today. That's your big deal? And I want to hear a little bit of the fight, too, between Ant and...
Yes. You gave me an assignment.
Everybody's got an assignment. First of all, you had the assignment, Earl, of taking over as new mentor. How are you doing with that?
We're so far so good with New Lily.
I will say this: New Lily has got a sheet that she's working on. She says she's brainstorming a bit. I've never seen her so involved before. She's doing stuff. Let me bring in New Lily. Play the New Lily music, and as we bring New Lily into the studio. She just lost her mentor, Fez, was taken out, and Earl has become her new mentor. Lily, how did it go with Earl yesterday?
It was fantastic. We had...
Really?
Yeah, very productive email correspondence about writing pitch sheets for Ron Bennington interviews.
For what?
Ron Bennington interviews.
Ron Bennington interviews.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say it on air.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but here's
Yeah,
what
the other
I'm
show.
also asking you about that, and I'm very surprised. Do you feel like you now have a sense of direction that you didn't have with Fez?
In a professional manner, yes, there is more direction.
Okay.
Now, what was the manner that Fez was taking you in?
He was a very paternal, like, father figure.
I see.
Very-
Like a bad father?
Like a nurturing father, no. He
I
was
see.
very...
So he nurtured you, but Earl sees you as somebody who's ready to take on the business.
Yes, I think so. I mean, Earl's more of a daddy role model, and Fez was more like the mommy,
I see.
caring.
So Fez is all about personal life. Who are you dating? Who do you think's cuter, David or Sam or E-Rock? If you had to be with one of those boys that hang around you out there, which one? If you had to. If Americans had your parents, who would you...
They're vicious.
Yeah. Who would you be with?
I guess a combination of Sam and E-Rock.
All right, double donged by Sam and E-Rock.
Sam Rock.
All right, for Earl, let me say this. I've never said this to you before. Job well done. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, but...
Are you surprised to hear that Earl's a better manager than you, Fez?
I'm totally shocked. I'm absolutely surprised by this.
Earl's working his way back up. First of all, you went toe-to-toe with Anthony today. And how did you think you did, Earl?
I held my own, yes.
You held your own. Would you say you won?
Did
you beat the brightest mind in comedy head-to-head? Did you do it?
I believe I did.
All right. This is, to me, this is an upset of a lifetime. Anthony, who I think he's the comedic mind of his generation. But for Earl to come in here and turn him around, spin him around, and drop him on his ass, that's way more surprising than Earl's 10 times a better manager than Fez is. And Fez is just playing it. You said paid attention to personal life stuff. All right, and now, of course, that happened. Dave, what was the production piece that Dave was working on for us?
Well, what happened was yesterday I had to come up with some AJ Dynamite production pieces because I didn't like Dave's. And then Dave had to come up with production pieces featuring Joyless Fuckstick.
All right, before we get into you, Fez, you've already been beat by Earl. So let me get back. Earl's the champion. You fall back in the losing brackets. Let's hear a little bit more of Earl versus Dave. Ant, and you said you just destroyed Anthony on the air today, which I'm shocked by. Why does everything with my guys happen on my way into work? Every time I leave my house, I'm like, well, just a regular show. And I got here, and there's shit on the walls. Earl's jizzed on people. He's fighting with Anthony. I miss it all. And the time it takes for me to get from my house to here. All right, so here's a little bit of the Earl versus Anthony.
You kind of lump everyone as a...
I don't lump you into... You're obviously a black man.
Yes,
I would never lump you into a category of a guy that I would consider a thief or a thug or anything. I would not do that. The second I get to know people... Like, I don't know. There are plenty of white people I don't know that I fucking steer clear of on the sidewalk because I'm not going to get bashed over the head with a fucking cinder block by some crazy homeless guy, regardless of his color. But I know, like you, Patrice, did I mention you? These are people that I consider friends.
Well, I thought he reached out to you there.
Yeah, he was reaching out, but then when he went to the whole example thing, he could only come up with 2 names. He was like, and mine came up twice. He was like me, Patrice, and then me again.
Well, that's because he won't spend any time with Franklin, or like me, he'd have 3. And New Lily.
You only have 3?
Huh?
You only have 3?
I got Franklin, Earl, Patrice, and New Lily. 4.
She's not black.
Huh?
She isn't black.
Well, people of color. I consider that people of color.
I don't know.
I don't see any difference between the minorities. Every minority is the same to me, except for your food's a little better.
Thank you. Thank you.
If I wanted to eat the stems, Earl, I would. But I don't understand greens.
Delicious
All
food.
right, so that's that. We're going to hear a little more a little later in the show. Oh, these are some of the Earl versus Anthony clips. They went on it pretty hot and heavy this morning. Well, did we already play the first clip?
None of this stuff has been played yet.
Okay, so here's Earl versus Anthony from this morning.
What? I believe there are times, and you have been openly racist.
I am honest. I have opinions, but whether I'm racist or not is preposterous. And the fact that I take information and I process it in my head from various sources and then come out with an opinion does not make me racist.
And I said you've been you have been honest,
but you
call
me racist. Well, here's the problem we have. You openly called Anthony racist. We all just kind of hint that he might be a racist. There's a difference, you asshole.
All right, Anthony doing very well with his part of the argument. Opie obviously pulling the curtain back too far. You only pull out the curtain so far. Don't let him see everything. But I thought Anthony was up front with you here. So far, I say it's, you're going nose to nose with him, Earl. Let's keep going with this.
And you can't blame the media for just portraying a certain group, regardless of which group it is, as committing certain crimes. That's why they profile in police work. And I don't mean just just mean patrolmen. I mean, they profile, when you see a certain crime, it's profiled as to who probably, not definitely, but probably committed that crime.
Right.
When it's child abduction, a girl is abducted and raped and murdered, it's usually a middle-aged white guy that wears a hat, has a radio show.
All right, Earl, here's two problems for you right now. Number one, you let Ant take the fight to you. He's dictating the fight. You had him where you called him a racist, okay? Mm-hmm. This belongs to you. You're in high ground now. You've stunned him. What happens? Immediately he's coming back. He's using facts. You fall into Obama's problem of, I see what you mean. I understand where you're coming from. I think we agree on that.
It's kind of a rope-a-dope. You don't want to be completely partisan. You just want to say...
No, it's not rope-a-dope. He's just teeing off on you here. He's got you now. Let's see if you... pick it back up again.
Earl, I believe, is racist because you want fucking reparations, motherfucker.
I was never against reparations. Well, never against.
Who would be if they come and toss you something?
Yeah, no
you
kidding.
were. I remember talking to you once saying you were for reparations. Shit. You believe that black people deserve reparations.
I believe that they should. I mean, basically hold up the deal that was originally made. That was
the deal that was originally made.
40 acres and a mule.
So you want a mule?
40 acres.
That was a deal.
40
Hold
acres.
up the deal. Just honor the deal that you made.
There wasn't a deal. Here you go. Here's your paper. You're a free man.
Scram.
The deal, if Lincoln would have lived, the deal was actually like Liberia, my friend. That was Lincoln's second half of the emancipation. You guys were going back.
Here's the problem again, Earl. Again, you're letting him dictate the fight. Now, instead of it being about him, you're trying to give away tax dollars, and you're basing on it on something that was said in 1861. So you're way off your fucking place. This started with Anthony acts like a racist. Instead of you bringing up issues where you thought you could prove that, he's backed you into a corner. He's got you defending something from 1861 and saying to the audience, they want your money, and you're letting Ant get away with this.
Basically, what I was stating was, honor the deal that was made.
You weren't stating it. You were defending it. This was what you stated is Anthony is a racist. Instead of making that point, you're now talking about honoring a fucking deal from 1861 that cost everybody money.
Well, he was making an accusation, and I was really defending that accusation.
You don't want to defend. You had the high road. You were the accuser.
I couldn't.
Look, go back and listen to the first thing. Anthony's like, what? I got called a racist. Suddenly he fucking can't believe it. You let him fix himself, and now you have let him take the conversation from being about what he's done to something that Abraham Lincoln said, and now you want money for every fucking hip-hop kid out there. You don't want to end up in that argument. He's got you now. Now and because you let him take the fight to you, now he's taking the fight to some ridiculous place. And instead of you going, excuse me, Anthony, this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about statements you made. You're going, honor the deal. Honor the deal from 1861. You've lost it. You lost your fucking ground now. Now it's all but over. That quickly.
Well,
and you thought you won this fight?
I thought I held myself up very well in this fight. I mean, I'll give him this, a very skilled debater. But
we don't know that now. From this debate, we can't tell whether he's skilled or not. He may be the best ever. He may have just said, "Oh, let me slap Earl away," because you let him get away with all this stuff. He owns you here. Todd, you're on Run and Fez.
How's it hanging, Ronnie?
Good. What can we do for you?
Hey, Anthony Cumia, he dresses up as a Nazi when he's at home and he hits young girls with a riding crop. That's a racist.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. Anyone who hasn't hit a young girl in the ass with a riding crop is gay. So let's take racism out of that. He's a heterosexual.
Nazi gear on him.
Nazi gear can be fun in the bedroom, let's face it. Who hasn't? That's fantasy games.
Costume.
Now, if you're rolling into Poland with it, that's a problem. All right, so we've seen Earl come in. He shocks the world. It's his own personal 9/11. Anthony's Twin Towers get hit. Somehow, Earl takes that, Anthony, you're a racist, and finds himself defending reparations from the Civil War. Huge fucking mistake here, Earl. Gigantic mistake. And the sad thing is, he's just owning you with it. He just absolutely owns you. And you, even now, don't understand how it happened.
I understand where that is coming from, but in the heat of the moment, I had to make that. I mean, he was making this accusation against me. I was defending that accusation.
Why?
It was because I couldn't leave it. In my mind, I thought I couldn't leave that out there.
That's why you lost. In your mind, you couldn't leave it out there. You say, Anthony, you're a racist. He brings up, you're the one who believes in reparations. Now, instead of it being about the initial point about whether Anthony is a racist or not, you're quickly defending the fact that you're a racist. Why don't you just walk into O&A's show and say, I got to get something off my chest. I'm a racist. I'm a crazy racist. All right, let's see how this ends up. It's Earl versus Anthony this morning.
Earl, and seriously, I do consider you a friend. Yes. I really do.
No,
and have you call me racist kind of hurt me a little bit.
And I'll apologize.
Oh, my God.
On yesterday's Ron and Fez program.
Why did you say that?
Where were you?
Because I'm a racist. Because of the way I come across. Some people like to believe that I am racist when I'm an honest person that voices my opinions, that I draw based on a lot of facts. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of...
He's statistically judgmental of
I am very statistically judgmental. Okay, I'll even agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm statistically judgmental, but I always, when I personally meet people, I base my like or dislike of them on the content of their character, as the good doctor said.
Well...
Dominated you.
Wow.
He just dominated you, Earl.
Yeah.
He apologized to Anthony.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, really.
All I can take out of this, and I'm just going to give it the brother thing and say whites are smarter than blacks. And maybe I don't have all the data that I need because I just have Earl. But from that conversation, whites are much smarter than blacks. And this is how, Earl, you ended up walking over to the very small farm and thinking it was a very good idea to be a sharecropper. So this is fantastic. We get to work all year for him.
He always uses the rope-a-dope analogy, too. He doesn't realize...
Just drop the rope. Yeah. It's a fucking dope.
90% of the time, he's George Foreman. He doesn't get it.
Well, he's
getting knocked the fuck out every time.
He punched himself out on himself. Punching himself in the head. Don't let them drag you into reparations again. And you know what? Do yourself a favor and give up on reparations, because A, you're not getting them. B, you may have the President of the United States coming your way.
Absolutely. Let's make it by 14 points, please.
Stop making it about you. This would be, if he wins by 14, it would be such an enormous landslide that the Republic it may even damage the Republican Party if it's that big of a landslide. It may change the Republican Party. And I see a lot of people doing that, talking about that they want to take it away from the Bush type thing and take it back into the Barry Goldwater / Reagan. You also told me you handed Anthony no ass today after calling him a racist, and I had that chance to listen to
I
it.
held my own pretty well until we got into reparations. Upon further review.
You held a bucket of shit that was your fucking point of view. That's the problem.
Jeremy S. from Cleveland. He's a regular. He saw you up there in Cleveland, and he said you killed Otto.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Where'd you bury the body?
I had, that was just awful. I was accused of being a racist by all these black people down there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, they walked out, oh, he's a racist, man. We're offended. It's like, when I see a black and white couple or like a Chinese guy with a hot black girl, I see like a large group of people like that, I don't get angry. I go, those are hip, erudite, like sophisticated people. I go, wow, it'd be nice to hang with them. I don't have hatred, I cried at that Will Smith movie, Pursuit of Happiness. I cried.
Oh, I thought you meant I Am Legend when his dog died.
Oh.
Yeah, that was sad.
Dog dying usually gets me too.
That was sad. I had Earl from Ron and Fez's show.
Yeah.
I had Earl call me a racist.
He did?
The other day. Yeah, and then I had a little debate with him and just crushed him.
Was that because of the Obama thing?
Yeah, that's part of it. He's so, ready for Obama to be president and so, proud and everything, which is fine, but for him to call me a racist, I'm like, no, you know what I am? I'm honest.
Yeah.
I have my own opinions on things that I kind of cull from different news sites and things. I know statistics of certain things, and I talk about them on the air, honestly and openly. That's not racist. That's me being honest.
Yeah.
Earl didn't back it up with anything.
No, Earl had nothing. Earl went into a reparations rant about how he wanted his 40 acres and a mule and how that was part of the deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what deal? What deal was this? Well, I don't remember signing that deal. I don't remember Bob Eatman coming to me with that contract. And Earl is going to get 40 acres and a mule.
Is he black?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where are we going to get all the mules from?
Yeah.
There's a lot of goddamn mules we're going to need. White people.
Better start breeding the mules.
Breed those mules.
All right, where's Earl?
Earl refuses to come in.
Why?
He's too busy.
Too busy. Does he understand that whatever he's doing is not more important than material for either show?
Right.
And Ronnie will get on Earl about this, especially if Earl redeems himself, because Ronnie said he was owned.
Yeah.
With the last debate we had.
Earl.
He rocks in his office.
Wants to know why you won't come in.
I have some calls I have to make.
You're
He's
doodling.
full of shit.
I'm not doodling. I'm attempting to get some work done.
Just come in and talk to him for a few minutes.
What kind of phone calls is he making?
Yeah, who's he calling?
What could he possibly be doing, Rochester?
Ask who he's calling.
Awful
He's coming.
Jack Benny.
All right, here comes Earl. Angry
A
Earl.
little slower, Earl. It's radio.
Yeah, take your time, Earl.
Oh, Jesus.
You're not going to slow down our show, too. Get
That's
the fuck
what
in here.
He got mad at Dave for saying that the other day.
Earl, what phone calls you making?
I was just doing some business. Ron and Fez noon to 3 before I forget.
Yeah, but Anthony owned you, and then Ronnie had pointed out that you got owned, right?
I thought I held my own, but upon further review, yeah.
I listened to Ron and Fez. I listened to the whole breakdown of the discussion we had. And when you apologized to me was probably the best moment, where Ronnie was just like, you just apologized to him. Now, this stems from, last week, Earl called me a racist.
Yeah, why would
on the
you do
Ron and
that?
Fez show.
Well, there have been moments where you have said things that were just openly racist.
Openly racist.
Name one.
Yeah, do you have any examples?
Just one. Name one.
Well, you always make the situation, like particularly with me. Let's say if there's a situation, let's say with Reverend Al or whatever, you'll make it a point to say, "Hey, Earl, look at Reverend Al," and just kind of point out to, like, being the resident black guy, that you have to point out that a black guy is just causing trouble. And I'm like, big deal.
Well,
it's Al speaking as Al.
I have heard you defend Al in the past, so I think I should point out whenever he makes mistakes and is being an idiot and a racist himself. I think I should point that out to you.
Well, and I've defended Al. And I've called Al out when he's been an ass, and I was like, that's Al being Al.
And is Ant right or wrong? He makes a good point there. Is he right?
I don't think you have the first point of conversation with me doesn't have to be about someone speaking entirely for themselves.
But Ant made a good point. You would agree with that, right?
I don't know if I agree with that.
Do you think he has some channel to all black people that he's going to go back and say, let them all know that Al Sharpton's a jerk that day or something?
No, it's just I think Earl has a little more racism in him than he likes to admit. I think it's camouflaged as pride, but it is a separatist, kind of a racist, kind of a bias thing going on, which, I think that's natural in all people to be kind of proud of where they came from and their heritage. But for some reason, white people aren't allowed to do that. And if I say certain things based on fact,
your heritage is a white person. You're Italian.
No, Italian, but it's. But the thing is, it's like I don't know, and black people are African. Somewhat. Some aren't. Some are from the islands and stuff. But it's like, so why is it this black thing? It's like the same thing with me. I'm Italian, but I can't celebrate, being European. But black people can celebrate
being black.
Even though it's like, all right, you're not black. You're ancestors from Zimbabwe or
I don't know
Kenya.
where I could not tell you where my people are from.
You trace your roots back.
Yeah,
Earl, you would agree you're a racist,
like
though,
Alex
right?
Haley.
No, I don't think I'm a racist at all.
No?
I don't care who you are, where you come from. It doesn't matter to me. I'll meet you as a person.
That's exactly what I said. So how am I a racist when I'm judging people based on what they do and not their color?
I mean, when Obama first declared his presidency, there were things that,
you said some things.
There were things that were said. It was just sort of like, and I think
he's going to pay a little more attention to his constituency and to the people that support him. 98% blacks support Obama, and that he's not going to pay a little more attention to that, and perhaps be a little biased as far as which way he leans when giving people aid and support and money. Why can't I say that without being racist?
I mean, I don't think he's done that at all.
He's shown that in the past.
I mean, the support, that black support wasn't automatic. It took him a long time to build that support. When his candidacy started,
long time. When you get 98%, when you get 98% of black people voting for a black guy, they're voting for him because he's a black guy. They don't have to look at his credentials and what he's done. His credentials are terrible. He hasn't spent enough time in politics to even be president. But 98% of black people think he's qualified. Why? Because he's black. Do you honestly think?
I disagree with the black part. I mean, I think everyone's like, well, the whole issue of qualifications is, to me, constitutionally, I think it's only you only have to be 36 and an American citizen. That's it. That's qualifications.
Oh, well, then you could be president.
Any one of us.
You'd be a lousy ass president.
Can run for presidency. I always take
running and being good as at your job is a different thing.
I think that when you bring up this whole point, it's like qualifications. The guy was and is in the Senate. The guy's held office before.
Yeah, but what the community activist
he was
crap?
A state senator. He became he is a United States senator.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like about him?
I like the straight. I mean, I hate to use this term, straight talk, but it's common sense to me. It's like, you know what? Let's tax people who can afford to be taxed more.
I am being taxed
a lot,
a shitload. So why should I be taxed more so that money can be given to people that are underprivileged? Which is exactly what he's talking about. This is all whatever he's saying. The middle class is all bullshit. My tax money is going to go to pay for people that are considered underprivileged, being given the help that they need by the government. Again, turning this into a socialist government.
But first of all, everyone's with the whole tax thing. We're getting taxed more all the time. I mean, food has gone up, heat has gone up, gas has gone up. That's a tax. Here in New York City, mass transit.
What do you think? I live in the dark? I pay it.
The fares have gone up, twice in like 4 years? That's a tax. Everyone's like, taxes are going up. Guess what? Your taxes are already going up. People who can't afford more. You're not going to lose. You're not going to miss this money if you're making, I think it's over $250,000.
You are crazy then to think that people aren't going to miss it. You think people living in Manhattan making $250,000 are rich and should be taxed more, and that money should go to help people out to raise them up, as Obama has said in the past? What business is it of his to redistribute people's money that they earned in this country, achieving what is known as the American dream, which is based on, with luck and some skill and whatever else happens, if you make it, you've made it, and it's yours. It's yours to keep. It's not his job to then take it and decide that somebody else should have it. I'm not talking about programs. I'm not talking about highways. I'm not talking about government facilities, things like that we need to pay taxes for to build and maintain. I'm talking about what he is saying, redistributing wealth from what he considers the wealthy to the fucking poor. That isn't what this country was based on. Some people are going to be fucked in the country. That's what America is. America is people that made it and people that are fucked and people in the middle that are trying to get to the made it point. There's no guarantee in any paper that this country is based on that says you're guaranteed success, you're guaranteed prosperity, happiness, or fucking money. And this is what this motherfucker wants to do.
And no one is saying that. I mean, but for those who
saying he's saying that.
Those who want that shot and need help getting there, you don't think they should get that shot?
No. What the fuck did I get, dude? I fucking lived in my car. I was poor. I had no fucking money, no job. I lived in my fucking car until I said, you know something, Anthony? Get yourself a fucking job and work your way out of this shit. And that's what I did. No one gave me shit. I wasn't able to go, Obama, please tell that guy in the big house to give me some fucking money so I could rent a place and get on my feet. That isn't what this country's about.
So a bank didn't give you a loan. A bank didn't.
No.
I mean, we have institutions in place that if you ask for the help and are willing to pay that money back, it's there.
If you have good credit, you'll get a fucking loan. If you fucked your credit up, you won't get a loan. That's how it works. That's how it works. Why are the banks all of a sudden supposed to fucking dole out? Look what happened when the banks gave money to fucking people that couldn't pay it back. They got shit on. The banks got fucked.
Well, look. Well, first of all, the banks got greedy because they saw like the interest rates. They said, you know what? We can bleed these people off the interest rate.
They started giving loans to people that weren't qualified, which is bad on two sides. The bank was stupid for doing it, and the motherfuckers that were taking the loans was stupid for not realizing they couldn't pay it back. And they foreclosed, and now they're crying. And now Obama wants to fucking, pay for their foreclosed houses. Fuck that.
This is like watching the World Series. Earl, you're the Rays, not the Devil Rays anymore, and Ant's the Phillies. Not much of a contest here, my God.
I just can't take this fucking guy as being president. And it has nothing to do with his skin color. If he was a white guy with the same fucking platform, I wouldn't even go near voting for him. Wouldn't go near voting for him.
But you don't think the race part is also a factor into it?
That's why I'm called a racist, Earl. Thank you. That's why I'm called a racist. Because every time I say this about Obama, people say it's because he's black or half black, whatever the fuck you want to say. But the truth of the matter is, it's completely because he's a socialist. He's a fucking way liberal. He's wants to abolish the Second Amendment as far as people's right to bear arms, which I'm a huge advocate of the Second Amendment, not of getting rid of it. And he wants this redistribution of wealth, which is against everything this country and capitalism has been based on.
So this isn't any different from what Reagan was saying with the trickle down theory.
Different. Trickle down economics was giving tax cuts to corporations and people that had money because they employ the people below them, and the money trickles down. It employs people, and it didn't come out of my fucking pocket. This is taxing individuals taking their money and giving it to other individuals that aren't as prosperous as the people he took the money from. That is Marxist socialism.
The way I read it and the way I saw it was just more, it wasn't as cut and dry as you're describing it. The way I read it was...
Because if he cut and dry, if he put it as cut and dry like that, people would see it for what it is.
I mean, I don't feel like, giving tax breaks to 95% of the people who need it is a problem.
You know 35% of the country don't pay fucking taxes. They get refunds. Every penny that they put into their taxes for working, they get back in a refund. So take 35% of the whole fucking country and throw that revenue away. You're not even getting that. So when 95% of the people are getting tax cuts, does that include the 35% that aren't paying taxes? Are they going to get more money back? I already pay a fuckload of taxes. My tax burden is, I'm in that percentage that pays for something like 85% of the country's revenue is from people like me. And I believe me, I didn't inherit this fucking money. I earned what I have. I fucking earned it. And I don't want some motherfucker saying that I now have to hand it out as charity to people. I do my own charity. I give money to people that I know that are in need. I give money to certain charities that I want to give to. I don't want the government telling me who I should pay.
You buy a wheelchair every once in a while.
Every so often, if some old cripple little bitch gets a wheelchair stolen, I'll cut a check. You know what I have? I have a charity I want to start. This is serious. Gangs. Gangs are a big problem in this country. And you notice a lot of innocent people get shot. Little girl just got shot in the arm. You hear it all the time when gang violence breaks out. It's always innocent people, bystanders that are getting shot. I want to start a charity to give laser sights to gangs.
Nice.
So that way they could put it on their guns and they know who they're shooting. Like that way, if they shoot, then they're just shooting each other. Right. You can't miss with those things. It's a breed. The dot is on your target, they're dead. If the dot's on a kid, you know not to pull the trigger. It's simple. So it's laser sights for gangs is my latest venture I want to get into.
So you want clean killings.
I want clean killing.
Accurate killing.
I want people that decide they're shooting each other to make sure they hit each other.
Those Asian gangs are the worst shots, man.
What? Oh, yeah.
They'll take out a whole restaurant and not get the guy they mad
I don't
at.
care what race they are.
Yeah.
Oh, laser sights for any gang. Latin, black, Asian gangs, white, whatever it is. Lasers.
I want to thank Alan Combs for coming by. That was terrific, Earl. Just like when I watch TV. Amazing. Yeah. Alan Combs hangs right in there. I want to thank Garfunkel for stopping by today.
Oh, Jesus.
Alan Combs.
Alan Combs.
Oh, that guy with the bad skin on TV.
Alan Combs. The one that Hannity's shadow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Garfunkel.
All right. Well, Earl.
Art Garfunkel in today.
We're going to have to agree to disagree again.
Simon. Great.
How many days till everything is hunky-dory for you and your people?
8 days.
8 days. And then everything changes, right? This big change that he says after the inauguration, which, of course, they're calling it something different on some of the websites I've been to.
Oh, yeah.
You take inauguration, you switch it around a little, and it gets funny.
So let me get, I know what you're thinking. Let me get this straight. So a black guy gets in 4 years out of what, 230 something, and people are upset about it? Real.
Look at
we've been cool for like 200 years. We're asking for 4 years, maybe 8.
Dude, look what we've done as a country. You really have with older white guys in charge. Look what we've done. The technology in the short span of the life of this country has gone from muskets to achieve our independence to landing on the moon.
How does that have to do with the president, though? I mean, Thomas Edison invented half the shit you're talking about.
I'm just talking about that guy being in charge. We haven't been taken over as a nation.
Right.
We dropped the war at 2.
Yeah.
I understand that. But we've kept this nation, what it was supposed to be for the most part.
White.
Well, not so much white, but I just want to see what happens. If your guy wins, I just want to see what happens. If there's this big change.
So even if there's like a shift in, let's say, he puts in policies or programs that aid more blacks and minorities as a whole, which, by the way, now slowly become the majority of this country. That's a bad thing.
I know that. Yeah, if it's coming out of my check, if it's coming off of my back, what I earned.
I mean, and then you're saying like my back. What if it's coming out of everybody's back? What if everyone is sacrificing equally? What if everyone?
Not. The people that are getting the free ride are not sacrificing. They're getting the free ride. This is what Obama's saying. He's not saying everyone pays. He's not saying this is a struggle for this country and the economy. Everyone's going to have to make sacrifices and go back. It's let's get the most votes by saying I'm helping the middle class, which he means the lower class, by taxing these evil, and he portrays everybody as the evil rich people, because everybody like that is white, and they're curling their mustaches. Some woman is tied to train tracks. Meanwhile, he's villainizing this small minority of people that are paying and taking care of this country, and putting the burden on them to take care of and lift up. Oh, how uplifting. And lift up these fucking people that aren't cutting it.
Well, he's villainizing people who instead of paying their fair share of putting their money in tax shelters, he's villainizing corporations that have that are making billions of dollars.
Do you think
making tons of money, but at the same time, we gotta make sacrifices and cutting not like 100, 200, thousands of jobs. I mean, we're talking corporations that are making significant amounts of money, yet they're cutting jobs because why? They're greedy. They want to make more money.
So tax them more, and you think they're going to go, well, we're just going to get along with less money? Or do you think they're going to go, now we fire more people?
No, how about rewarding companies that actually keep jobs in this country? Which, again, corporations are doing.
There you go.
Outsourcing these jobs to countries that are, so they can pay the workers in these other countries $1 a day.
Great idea.
And that's what he's saying, though.
How is he saying that? Who's going to be rewarded?
Let's give companies incentives for keeping jobs here. What's wrong with that? That's the
companies?
People he's talking. That's the quote-unquote rich people he's talking about. The rich people who are trying to just not only make more, but
my company doesn't outsource, and I'm going to get screwed. Where's my fucking incentive? Where's my break because I'm keeping jobs in this country? I'm not outsourcing. Danny looks foreign.
The people he's really talking about. He's really talking about people who just have. It transcends wealth. It's just ridiculous amounts of wealth.
The thing is,
it caps at $250,000. That's the low end of it. You're only talking. Everyone always talks about the low end. For a privately owned company,
$250,000 is not that much. That's a mom and pop operation. When you're talking gross income, taxable income, or even after deductions or something, $250,000 is not that much for a company. And it's a lot of companies are going to suffer and have to fire people because of his stupid socialist tax program. I cannot stomach the thought of him being president. It really makes me sick.
I mean, I think we will not be any worse than we have been the last 8 years.
Well, that's good because the last 8 years has been horrific. The president we have in there now, Bush, has been a do-nothing shithead for 8 years. If he had one good quality, this wouldn't even be a question. A Republican would be in there. But he fucked up so bad that he's handing this over to the Democrats. I don't know. It's just, all right. Earl,
you did pretty good this time.
We'll have to agree to disagree.
We agree to disagree.
Good luck to your candidate. And we'll see what happens.
It's going to be interesting. And
you and other black people are so excited about this. This is going to be like one of those OJ acquitted moments, isn't it? Morning after election.
Yeah.
A bunch of people in the streets just jumping around, cheering like maniacs.
Well, the cool thing about this whole thing is
for an election like it's a fucking like it was the NBA, like it was when the Bulls won. It's going to be a pandemonium in the streets, right?
Just get the word out. I don't want my car overturned and burned, please.
Because finally, you guys have reached the pinnacle of power in the country, and then there'll be no more excuses, I guess. If a black man can become president in this country, then there is truly no more, there's not enough racism in this country to hurt you anymore.
Well, it's
right?
just like, I don't know if it's racism, I don't know if it's sexism. I mean, it is a turning point.
If he gets elected, do you agree that there's not enough racism left in the country to interfere with black people being successful if they apply themselves.
I mean,
just like anyone else.
I mean, black people have always applied themselves. I mean, the problem has always been that when
the Obama supporters, by the way, and it's a payback here, they're driving to the studio.
They want to kill me.
They not even want to kill you. They want to argue the point better than Earl is arguing it.
Earl's Obama's biggest fan.
They're like,
to it. It's
for the love of God,
I mean,
Earl,
Obama,
say
everyone's
something.
like, Obama kind of like cakewalk. This guy worked his ass off.
Exactly.
The guy went to Harvard.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Listen.
And there are plenty of black people out there who are doing the same thing.
Is there enough racism left in this country to interfere with a black person that wants to succeed in this country?
I mean, but look what's happening around the country with
yes or no
Obama
question.
running. Let me, and I'll get to
yes
that.
or no question.
There's a guy in Ohio right now who's built an Obama effigy. There is plenty of racism still in this country.
Of course there is. Is there enough to keep a motivated black man from achieving? How?
Absolutely.
If the man achieves the presidency of the United States, how can you then say there's still enough racism to interfere with any driven black man who wants to achieve a goal in his life?
Look, in 2008, we're still having first black this, first black that. I mean, 2008. I mean, what, 44, almost 45 years after the Civil Rights Act, 44 years after the Voting Rights Act, we're still
pinnacle though. Pinnacle.
We're still
president.
cracking. I mean,
pinnacle of the free world.
It's the tip of the iceberg, yes, but there's still, at least on a local level, there's still a long way to go.
How is racism going to stop whatever any black guy who goes to school, educates himself, and wants to get into the job market, has a goal, has a future set for himself, a job he wants, to achieve that? How is racism in this country, in this day and age, going to stand in his way when Obama is able to achieve the presidency of the United States?
Well, you still have cronyism. You still have
everything. Cronyism keeps white people. Nepotism keeps white people from getting work. It doesn't matter. Like that's part of just doing business in this country. Black people have to understand it's not always racism. Sometimes someone's brother-in-law gets the fucking job. That's just the way it works. Cronyism. But I don't think there's enough racism left where it hurts motivated black people. The guy made president. He's just about there.
Yeah, he's.
But you were saying that there are all these firsts that haven't been achieved yet, but
no, it's still. I mean, we're still having.
But not all these other achievements are voted in, so you can't say. I mean, how is racism responsible for stopping somebody from achieving a first if there's not a vote?
I mean, to
elect them.
100,000 people at his rally, all colors. Where's the racism? Where's the racism that's keeping the black man down when this guy is achieving what he is achieving?
Well, you would have to agree. There's been poll after poll where they're saying there's still a significant percentage of people are like, I am not voting for him because he is black.
And 98% of black people are voting for him. So you don't think they're voting for him because he's black?
You don't think they're... But that was
what's the difference?
That was such a slow build. And when he was running in the primaries...
It was instantaneous.
It was
every black person was going, holy shit, a black guy. Let's vote for him. Patrice O'Neill himself is being honest, more honest than you. He at least said, I'm voting for him because he's black.
During the primaries, there was, I would say, almost a 50-50 split with blacks. They're like, I'm going to vote for Hillary. She's been good to black. That took a long time to build.
And you think it's based on his platform and not the fact that he's black? 98%.
I'll give you my parents,
based on the same thing,
in the primaries were voting for Hillary.
So if there was a white guy with the exact same credentials as Obama, 98% of the blacks would vote for him because he's a wonderful guy that has all these great platforms.
If he was the same package, they would vote for him. He's
98%. Stop it, Earl.
I would say...
Earl, stop it.
No, hold on.
That's crazy.
Hold on. No, and it's happened before where we've had, there was a large black percentage of people who were going to vote for Kennedy.
98%. 2% of Republican, what they call Uncle Toms, were the ones that are left out. Everyone else is voting for him. And if it was a white guy with the exact credentials, You mean to tell me there wouldn't be a difference?
I mean, the exact same the
same
complete
exact package and with a white face.
I would say that. Yeah,
98%. Okay, you're crazy. I'm sorry. I have to dub you insane.
That's a tough one there.
That you're lying to yourself.
I'm not lying to myself. I mean, the exact same package with the political climate that is out there now. Yes, I would agree with that.
No way. That's crazy.
No, I can't see that.
Yeah, let's get Rob Dukes to beat up Earl now that the debate's over. Rob, it's to you now. It's a big finale. You beat up Earl for having a different opinion than Anthony. No? Who's with me?
Gosh.
All right, Earl, that was...
Your guy's in. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, that was great, Earl.
I wouldn't worry about it. Your guy's in. You're going to have at least 4 years of being able to just hoot and holler about having your guy in.
Earl, they're telling us
it's going to be a wonderful time. It's going to be a wonderful time for African Americans. They got it knocked now.
Make no mistake.
We'll have Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Make no mistake. There is a lot of work to do.
Earl, they're telling us you have to go.
Yeah, that's what they tell you on the Ron and Fez show.
Right.
So I guess go do it.
They're saying you have to go. So
yeah, they're telling us your publicist is saying.
Yeah.
Go make some phone calls.
Ron and Fez new to 3.
What are you making? Obama phone calls back there? Vote for Obama. Get the vote out.
All right, Earl.
All right, Earl.
Thank you.
Godspeed. There he goes.
Fight
Earl's
the power,
theme
Earl.
music. Fight the power, Earl.
There you go, Earl.
Fight the power.
Holla.
He's crazy if he thinks 98% of black people would vote for a white guy.
Exit music.
Fight the
Fight
power.
the power.
Holla.
Fight the power.
Holla.
Fuck the police.
Holla.
Fuck the police.
Holla. I'm Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
That's all he did, and he got millions.
Kicking ass.
Holla.
The only election day news you can trust. We are here so you don't have to be. Quite frankly, you don't even have to vote that day. Because Ron and Fez are going to take care of this whole situation. We'll vote for you. November 4th, Ron and Fez bringing in the election. Right now we're going to be looking for... The Ichiban, of course, is Japanese for...
Number one.
Number one. It's the number one story. It's the story all the kids are talking about. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez show.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Yeah.
Hey, Earl got his ass handed to him again by Anthony.
Yeah, 2 days running now. Earl the Debater. There's Joe the Plumber, and now Earl the Debater. He actually, after he debated Anthony today, Michelle Obama flipped, and she's now voting McCain. Earl, I know you believe in Obama.
Absolutely, I would.
You help by hiding. I want you to hide from Anthony. You are no match for him.
I thought I did very well against Anthony today.
Don't make me replay. Don't make me replay the tapes. You got beat up so bad I heard Opie crying. And I just think it was like a sensitive thing.
He was not. I don't think he was crying, but I thought I helped myself very well against Mr. Anthony.
Mr. Anthony.
That's all yourself.
What was he with the Imperials? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Mr. Anthony. By the way, a huge story, and we brought this up last week. There was a McCain worker who was in the wrong neighborhood. She was attacked, jumped, beat, and then apparently someone scratched an N into her forehead. So,
Ronnie, that was a B. That was a B that was scratched on her face.
What the hell would B even stand for?
Barack.
Oh, anyway. And everybody's been wanting to talk to this girl, Fezzi. The B girl, we've got her an exclusive interview. We'll be talking with the B girl just a little later on today. Jay, you're on Ron and Fez. Jay.
What's up?
Yeah.
By Ichiban, if Earl Douglas is kicked out of the black race, Pete Blacks has voted him out from the appearances on the O&A show.
Yeah, Anthony just beats him up. That he is the debating version of the Washington Generals. He's just got nothing. Why don't I do this? I'll call the police. They come here. We'll scratch a backwards A into your face and see if we can have Anthony arrested.
He knows he's going to lose, too, because he always makes this excuse, I have phone calls to make.
Smart.
And
Why can't you hide from him? Why isn't there a place that you can hide from his debate?
There's not a lot of places I hide. And what do I
You
have
let
to
him
hide?
use the word socialist today.
And yes, and I thought I countered that very well.
By saying, I'm sorry.
I didn't say I'm sorry.
No, communist.
You're just unbelievably bad at a debate, Earl. Unbelievably bad. Now, Earl, the girl, the McCain worker, that was found with the backwards N on her face.
It was a B on her face.
The backwards B on her face. Did you at any time think that was true, or did you always think that it was a work?
I didn't believe it because it was like, if you're going to... First of all, most people wouldn't let her live, you know what I mean? It was like...
Most people wouldn't let her live.
And
what? I'm a person, and I would let her live. I would not kill someone.
Well, and you would
so
start
I
with-
think, Fez, would you?
I think I'd let the big girl live.
Yeah.
You know, and then you start
You're
with the
losing
B.
a debate to yourself.
And then you just start with the B and not finish. If you're going to say
She
just
should
put
be dead.
Obama rather than Barack, it's easier to put Obama on there.
Put a big O on there.
Put a big
well,
O.
it's easy to make an O. Well, we've got the B girl on the show today, and I'm willing, Fezzy, to believe her. So let's bring her in. Let's bring in the B girl. Here she comes. Here comes the B girl. B girl, when you were... All right, she's not... She's just dancing around. All right, B girl. She's got those little glasses on.
Yeah.
B girl, can I... All right, she's still dancing around. B girl. Oh, this is really getting ridiculous. She's not doing anything she's told. Oh, look, she found other bees to play with. That's nice. All right, there she goes, the bee girl.
Nice.
We'll try to get her in. We'll try to get her in here.
Put on weight.
Yeah, well, I believe it's because she hasn't grown yet.
Oh.
She's going to shoot up, and then she'll need that weight.
Oh, yeah.